So hi, before you watch the videos, the demo videos that are to follow this one on my various attempts to create a VM from a template, according to the instructions, following roughly, but not, I guess, precisely enough, the instructions in Activity 612, creating a virtual machine from a template, um, there's this, understand, as you watch these videos, as you do this yourself, um, the instructions in the book are for a process which cannot complete successfully. Mostly because when you're doing your OS profile and you plug in that Windows license key that's 5 sets of 5 ones, that's an invalid key. It can't ever work. Strangely enough, as you're typing it in, it will tell you if it's a valid key or not. But just because it says it's a valid key doesn't mean it's a valid key. What it may just really mean there is it has the form of a valid key. Less than 5 sets of 5 characters can't possibly be a valid key. Alternatively, 5 sets of 5 characters that's broader than, say, strict alphanumeric will not work. Anyhow, so I tried this a number of times. I did some research. I found some things. I learned some stuff. Long story short, you'll get as far as starting to create the VM, and then it is going to time out on you. I watched this happen several times. I investigated. I actually dug down as far as to figure out, okay, this is going to fail in a very specific way. It'll build the VM. It'll actually deploy the VM to your target host. It'll build an ISO containing the unattended XML file, and you actually can once that happens, once it starts the VM, what happens is it tries to boot the VM, finish the process, apply that key, and then that's what fails. So that if you were to say stop the VM and then mount that VHD as an external drive, as though it were an extra disk drive. You could go in there, you could read it, you could look at the unattended XML file, and you could see a block of code, which the semi-cryptic error message references. And that in there is your license key. It's not failing because it can't call home to the license key server. I thought that might have been the issue. I tried to punch the VMs through to the cloud so they could make that call home, because Microsoft's licensing process involves ET phone home, shall we say, though some of you may be too young to remember ET phone home. Anyway, it's not any of those things. The process was meant to fail from the beginning. There's actually a note about it in the book. During step 1.7 in the jobs dialog box, customize virtual machine. The process stalls if you aren't using a valid Windows product key. This is as far as you can proceed, and you need to cancel the job. Not having this virtual machine doesn't affect completing the remaining activities, however. I should have liked to get all the way through this and be able to spin it up to show you that it's working. But if you don't have a valid key, and you feed it an invalid one, that's as far as it's going to go. Under these circumstances, it might actually be of more benefit to you to use, say, an eval license copy of the image that you're going to use, for the sake of not needing a key in the first place. But if you're doing this in the real world, you're obviously going to have to license every system. What you may do there, in fact, is not so much feed it a key as feed it a script, which will tell it how to talk to a licensed server someplace. In any case, so this is just a little note on the fact that this particular process isn't going to work. I can tell you that for certain because I've been trying it for days. I tried it on MindTap, I tried it on my own hardware, I tried updating the software, any number of things, all the things I could think of doing, I did, except read the instructions a little more closely. So, word to the wise, read all the instructions. And thank you.